変わってくるんだよね。 All right, everybody ready? Greetings, and welcome to the 2021 swearing-in ceremony for the Mayor and City Council of the City of Annapolis. My name is William Rowell. I'll be your Master of Ceremonies today. Thank you. So at this time, the Annapolis Police Department and the Annapolis Fire Department will present the colors, followed by our national anthem.
Honor God! Present! All!
I note the obvious differences in the human family. Some of us are serious, some thrive on comedy. Some declare their lives are lived as true profundity, and others claim they really live the real reality. The variety of our skin tones can confuse, bemuse, and delight. Brown and pink and beige and purple, tan and blue and white. I've sailed upon the 7 seas and stopped in every land. I've seen the wonders of the entire world, not yet one common man. I know 10,000 women called Jane and Mary Jane, but I've seen not any two who really were the same. Mirror twins are different, although their futures drive, and lovers think quite different thoughts while lying side by side. We love and lose in China. We weep on England's moors. We laugh and moan in Guinea and thrive on Spanish shores. We seek success in Australia, are born and die in Maine. In minor ways we differ. In major, we're the same. I note the obvious differences between each sort and type. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. There's a poem by Maya Angelou, may she rest in peace, and we steadfastly move towards our dream and the mayor's vision of one Annapolis. Our first speaker today is a third-generation Marylander and has been a national leader on health care, retirement security, the environment, and fiscal issues while representing the people of Maryland in the U.S. Senate. Please have a seat. Better late than never, right? And before that, in the House of Representatives. I'm proud to say that he has been and continues to be a champion for civil and human rights. United States Senator Ben Cardin.
William, thank you very much. It really is my pleasure to be here. Mayor Buckley, congratulations on your election and on this inaugural day, and to the members of the council, city council, congratulations on your elections. And we very much appreciate your willingness to serve the people of Annapolis. This is a special day. Yes, we have our entire federal delegation that represents Annapolis present, with Senator Van Hollen and John Sarbanes and myself. But Mayor Buckley, we want you to know this was such a special day that the entire membership of the General Assembly decided to return to Annapolis. Governor Rutherford and County Exec Pittman, we are Team Maryland. And we are here in force to congratulate Mayor Buckley, the 137th mayor of the great city of Annapolis. Congratulations. Mayor Buckley has provided visionary leadership for this historic city that has such an incredible legacy and such a bright future under the leadership of Mayor Buckley. Jean Vanier summed up what I really think represents Annapolis and Mayor Buckley when she said, "One of the marvelous things about community is that it enables us to welcome and help people in a way we couldn't as individuals." That's exactly what Kevin Buckley has done as mayor of Annapolis. He's welcomed all, and he's found solutions to people's problems, and he's been able to overcome major obstacles. No more difficult obstacle than COVID-19. And through his leadership, we've seen how the resiliency of this city and its people have moved forward even during COVID-19. I had the chance to walk on Main Street on Small Business Saturday with County Exec Pittman and the mayor, and Julie. Julie was the best shopper among us. And I must tell you, it was so exciting just to see the traffic on Main Street and the optimism and the pride and the resiliency and the creativity of the people here in Annapolis. And yes, we went to the craft shops and we went to the restaurants, and I had a corned beef sandwich and chicken roast. We did the required things. It was a cold day, but our reception couldn't have been warmer. And that's a reflection of Mayor Buckley's leadership here in the city, giving great hope to the future. So, Mayor Buckley, I want you to know on behalf of your federal partners, we are here to be your partner as you move forward with Annapolis. Under the American Rescue Plan, direct dollars were provided to the city of Annapolis. And under the mayor and council leadership, there is great transparency and use of those funds to help the residences and businesses here in Annapolis. Under the bipartisan infrastructure package, more money will be coming to Annapolis. I'm particularly pleased about the Transportation Alternative Programs, which provides local funds that can be used to meet the local challenges here in this city. After all, you need to balance the fact that you're the state capital, you're the home to the Naval Academy, you have your businesses, you have your residents. All that requires to have the flexibility in the use of funds in order to deal with those issues. And we're not finished yet with the Build Back Better budget that will provide additional funds to deal with the challenges here in Annapolis, including affordable housing for the people that live here. Now, Mayor, I know your visionary issue of dealing with adaptation and resiliency in regards to the flooding in the harbor area here, the dock area in Annapolis. I want you to know we're already your partner on that project, the federal government, and we will continue to do that. I know I'm speaking for Senator Van Hollen and Congressman Sarbanes, that you're our priority. We're going to continue to be your partner, and we thank you for being willing to continue your extraordinary public service on behalf of the people of Annapolis. Congratulations.
Thank you, Senator Cardin. 2021 was a trying year, as we have all witnessed, and we've lost some really meaningful people. All people are meaningful, but we've lost some people in Annapolis that mean a lot to us, and we want to take a few moments to remember some of those people, whether they're family members, people in the community that we know, and people that have spent a lot of time and energy building consensus among community members, such as Robert Eads. So we want to take this, we want to take this moment, if you will, moment of silence to remember all of those that we lost this year. Thank you. Thank you. A tireless fighter for the people of Maryland, our next esteemed speaker has also been known for working hard to find common sense solutions to difficult national issues. In January 2015, he released a comprehensive plan to address the problem of growing inequality in America and provide a blueprint for building an economy that works for everyone, a goal that he will continue to fight for in the U.S. Senate. I bring to you United States Senator Chris Van Hollen.
Thank you, William. It's a beautiful day, a special day, and I'm honored to join all of you for the inauguration, the second inauguration of Gavin Buckley as the mayor of the great city of Annapolis. Congratulations to you, Mayor Buckley. And I'm also very pleased and honored to be here to congratulate all the members of the City Council, some returning, some new, who are being sworn in today. Congratulations to all of you. And proud to be here with my partner in the United States Senate, Ben Cardin, my friend Ben, our friend Ben, and with John Sarbanes, who does such a great job representing this congressional district. Lieutenant Governor Rutherford, it's great to be with you, and it is great to be here with County Executive Pittman. Congratulations on all your good work. I see my dear friend Carl Snowden, and I just want to thank him for being a fighter for social justice and equality long before he was a member of the City Council. Carl, it's great to see you. Thank you for your leadership. And to our poet laureate, Maggie Benshaw, thank you not only for being a gifted poet, for being a teacher and passing that gift on to others. Thank you for being here. You know, I looked at those election results, and I must say that Mayor Buckley's overwhelming, historic election victory is a testament to his visionary leadership and how he brings people together, all the people of the city together to achieve common goals. And throughout the fight against the pandemic, and we still have to keep fighting to put it to rest, but he worked out plans to reach out to residents, to workers who may have lost their jobs, to small businesses and other businesses, anybody who was hurting. He reached out and provided a helping hand through his leadership. And Senator Cardin and John Sarbanes and I were proud to partner with him with respect to the American Rescue Plan that Senator Cardin mentioned, the other relief that we provided. And now, as President Biden has said, we do have to build back better. It's not enough to return to the pre-pandemic status quo. And that's not a new idea to Gavin Buckley. He's been building Annapolis back better since he was first sworn in after his very first election. But this is not something you can do in one day or 1 month or 1 year. And so the confidence of the people of Annapolis in electing him and this council is what gives me continued great hope for this wonderful city. He brings with him a vision of a dynamic, vibrant city, eliminating barriers, a place for all people of all colors and all backgrounds living together, raising their families, and opening small businesses. He opened 2, 3, 4. So that is the kind of vision for the city that we want to see, and a walkable place, a place where people can come and go and mix freely. And that vision does include his plan to renovate City Dock. And I've been proud to stand with him at City Dock, where we talked about that important vision, both to make that a place where more people want to converge, more inviting for people to come, and also to deal with the very real, immediate challenge of climate change. And the plans there, of course, will require raising that dock because of the rising sea levels. So as we fight climate change through the rapid deployment of clean energy and what we hope will be the next step in the Build Back Better agenda, it's also important that we plan to build resilient infrastructure for the future. And that is what the mayor's vision is all about. It's not just what he does a lot, it's how he does it. Because he understands that in order to have one Annapolis, you have to have an inclusive process. You have to have a process where everybody's voice can be heard. And that is how he has done it. He has done it with his own unique style and verve. He has marched to his own drummer, and other people have followed him and joined and participated in the parade, just like the parade we just had. We have our Annapolis poet here, poet laureate, and so I'm not going to try to offer my own poem, but I will offer a few lines from a well-known classic by Robert Frost, which was, "Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I think it's fair to say that Gavin Buckley beat his own path. First here to Annapolis, then in opening businesses here in West Annapolis, and then running for mayor. And we're lucky that he beat his own path, because that is making all the difference for the people of Annapolis. Congratulations on your election."
Thank you, Senator Van Hollen. I want to take this moment also to acknowledge the backbone of a city like Annapolis that allows the work to get done. There are those of us who speak a lot and are, in front of crowds, but then the most important part of this work are the city employees. And so any city employees who are here today in attendance, can you please stand for a moment so that we can applaud you? Thank you. Our next speaker has represented Maryland's 3rd Congressional District in the U.S. Congress since 2007. He currently serves on the House Committee on Energy and Commerce and the House Subcommittee on Environment and Climate Change. He He serves as Vice Chair of the House Subcommittee on Health. Congressman Sarbanes also serves on the House Oversight and Reform Committee and its Subcommittee on Government Operations. He chairs the Democracy Reform Task Force, which has assembled H.R. 1, the For the People Act, to reform and strengthen our democracy. United States Representative John Sarbanes.
Good afternoon, Annapolis. I want to congratulate you on your re-election of your very unconventional mayor, Mayor Gavin Buckley. You can use that word in a negative sense, or you can use it in a very positive sense in terms of being a groundbreaker. That's clearly what Gavin Buckley has been. You know, being re-elected is very important because when you're first elected, it's based on the promises you make, the vision you lay out, yet untested. But when you're re-elected, it's based on the work. It's based on the results, the commitment that you've brought. And obviously, if you look, as Senator Van Hollen said, you look at that margin of victory for Gavin Buckley, it's clear, Mayor, that people appreciate the work that you're doing for this city. So congratulations on that. And I also want to congratulate, we have re-elected members of the City Council and some newly elected members of the City Council. They have been and will continue to be terrific partners with Mayor Buckley. This city is a complicated, wonderful, amazing city. It's been a privilege now for almost 16 years to have represented the city of Annapolis in the United States Congress and to come to understand all of its different dynamics. And Mayor Buckley and this City Council understand Annapolis. They bring that kind of instinctive feel for how the city can move forward, balancing the old and the new, balancing the need to preserve the historic dimensions of this great city, but also welcome those new trends. And the mayor is somebody who's been able to do that in an outstanding way. But also understanding that we got to meet the challenges, as has been said, of climate change. Annapolis is on the front lines when it comes to that. I was here a few weeks ago when the flooding was occurring at City Dock, but able to see, actually that was my 2 minutes of fame because I got on the Weather Channel. It took me 16 years to do it, but I actually got on the Weather Channel. So, you know, now I can retire. But in any event, we were seeing the benefits of the resiliency work that the mayor and the city council have led on in partnership with the federal government and the state government and the county government. It's that kind of partnership which is going to make sure that Annapolis and other communities across the state and the nation are poised to respond to this climate crisis. So let me just close by again congratulating Annapolitans for making the right choice again by re-electing Mayor Gavin Buckley and this outstanding City Council. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Representative Sarbanes. An accomplished attorney with a lifetime of experience in both the public and private sectors, our next speaker is the 9th Lieutenant Governor of the state of Maryland. He was elected to office with Governor Larry Hogan in 2014 and re-elected in 2018. He is the first Republican Lieutenant Governor to ever be re-elected in Maryland. It must also be noted that he is a graduate of Howard University in our nation's capital. I bring to you Maryland Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Mayor Buckley, members of the incoming Annapolis City Council and Maryland's congressional delegation and other distinguished guests, it is a pleasure to be here this afternoon for this celebration. You know, this is an important city, our capital city, and at one time was the capital of the United States. Annapolis has within it the DNA of our founders. Inside the State House and the old Senate chamber is where General George Washington went before the U.S. Congress to resign his commission as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, which initiated the system that we have today where the military reports to a civilian leader. And that was unheard of at that time, that if you controlled the army, you were the king, you were the emperor, you were the czar, whatever it would have been, you were in charge. 3 years later, in 1784, Congress approved the Treaty of Paris in that very chamber, ending the Revolutionary War. Thomas Jefferson stood in that chamber when he was appointed to be Minister of France. Annapolis is a special place and deserves leadership that echoes the legacy of others before them. Voters in Annapolis use their constitutional right to put the mayor and council in office, and the expectations are there with you as well. Mayor Buckley, when I joined you 4 years ago to mark the occasion of your first inauguration, you were a few years younger and newly elected, and I had a little bit more hair. But you've proven to be a leader who loves this city and the people that you represent. Before earning that title as mayor, you were on the front lines, fighting for change, transforming the city for the benefit of its citizens as well as future generations. As a small business owner, you invested in this city, setting up several restaurants here on West Street, and you created events that promoted the connection and the appreciation of Annapolis as a community. As mayor, your leadership in times of crisis has been tested repeatedly by unthinkable tragedy, forces of nature, as well as a global pandemic. You have tackled all of these challenges with the energy, enthusiasm, and passion that you had while first campaigning to lead this great city. As Governor Hogan and I have demonstrated over the last 7 years in office, it is possible to cast aside partisanship, to take up common sense and compromise on things to get those matters accomplished. As you all work to tackle the issues most important to Annapolitans, I hope that Mayor Buckley and members of the council can do just that as they build a brighter future for all. I look forward to working with you, Mr. Mayor, for the remainder of my term and further cultivate relationships between the state and the city of Annapolis. And one of those areas that we were just talking about this morning is Carr's Beach. And we talked about that just back in the summer, about the acquisition of that property and returning that to a place of honor. It is only through partnerships. Oh, yeah, that does deserve. As I mentioned before, Carr's Beach was a little before my time. I know most of you think I'm much older than what I really am. But my mother, who is still around at 91 years old, does remember going to Carr's Beach when she was a younger person. But it's through these partnerships that we will be able to do the right things for the citizens, for families, for small businesses, and our communities. And so again, I want to congratulate the members of the Annapolis City Council, as well as Mayor Buckley, on their election, on this inauguration, and the partnership to continue to change Annapolis and Maryland for the better. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Also in attendance today, we have members of the Maryland General Assembly. We have Delegate Dana Jones, Delegate Shanika Henson, Delegate Heather Bagnall, Senator Clarence Lamb, and also State Senator Arthur Ellis. I would also like to take this moment to acknowledge our City Council members. So if you all can wave or say hi to the audience so that we can... Okay, thank you. My understanding is Sandy Bartlett is, okay. And I saw you earlier, yes. And Senator Pam Beidel. Thank you. And also Senator Sarah Elford. I'm going to get in trouble. Okay, there we go. There we go. So our next speaker was elected Anne Arundel County Executive after his first campaign for public office in 2018. As County Executive, he is pledged to make Anne Arundel County the best place for all by putting communities first. His strategy has been to engage communities from every sector and to practice transparency and data-driven policymaking. I bring to you Anne Arundel County's Executive, Stuart Pittman.
Well, I am here because Annapolis residents are Anne Arundel County residents. And Annapolis problems are Anne Arundel County problems. Annapolis solutions are Anne Arundel County solutions. And Annapolis is the heart of Anne Arundel County. One Annapolis is an aspirational slogan. The words on the signs at every road entering this county, the best place for all, is also an aspirational slogan. We have a lot of work to do. And swearing these 9 good people in today gives me confidence that we will do it. To Gavin Buckley, Ellie Tierney, Karma O'Neill, Rhonda Pindell Charles, Sheila Finlayson, Brooke Schandelmeyer, Dwan Gay, Rob Savage, and Ross Arnett, I respect and love every one of you. I will watch you and I will learn from you as I have during the last 4 years. Gavin, you came in like I did, a small business person who truly loves to hear people's ideas, especially when they're different from ours. But we also both came in with strong beliefs that grew from our life experiences. Beliefs, values, and a passion for justice that keeps us on course through pandemic, tornado, storms, and political chaos. Congratulations. You looked under the hood and saw the city's fiscal condition. Your solution was not what political consultants would recommend. You and the city council did what was right for your city, and the bond rating agencies rewarded you. You favored bikes over cars. You did something about it. You lost the battle on Main Street, but are winning the war for the city. Together, we will build the we. If you don't know what that is, ask Gavin. And bike racks at the new city dock will be full. And cars will be in the new garage out of the way of progress. On city dock, you listened to your critics. You brought everyone together. And you and the awesome 8 That's what you are, the Awesome Eight. The Awesome Eight that take office today are being entrusted with creating the greatest resiliency project and the greatest public space in the greatest small city in America. And this week, you and I will hire the director of our Joint Resilience Authority to finance this and many future projects. You wouldn't accept things as they were in Annapolis public housing, nor will Dwan Gay or anyone else on this council. Redevelopment is underway, and you have my word that I and everyone who works for me will not rest until every resident of Annapolis has access to a safe and mold-free home. To all of the public servants who work for the city of Annapolis, we in the county are there for you, just as you are there for us. Our police, our firefighters, and our emergency management teams function as one when our people are threatened, and they always will. Our transportation planners, our economic development teams, and the health and human service agencies that serve us all will remain focused on the challenges and opportunities in this city. And on a more personal level, my staff on the 4th floor of the Arundel Center have become not only colleagues, but also friends with your staff. Yes, they talk about us when they do happy hour together, but they still haven't figured out how to control us. I am proud to call Gavin and Julie true friends, but I also feel the same way about each of the older people on this stage. Your diversity of passion, perspective, and even personality is your strength as a body. You will set an example of good government everywhere. And to Annapolitans across this city, thank you for staying informed, engaging in government, and overwhelmingly voting to stay the course in this election. You showed that the fickle nature of American voters does not apply to our local politics. You saw leaders listening to their people and confronting real problems, and you rewarded them for that. You showed that you value experience and a steady hand locally when the world around us is swirling with uncertainty. So thank you. And finally, there's a person whose presence on this stage means far more to me than anything else going on today. A person I did not expect to be here. A person who many of us feared that we could lose. Somebody we don't ever want to lose. Somebody I went to when I felt the need to create an organization that could transcend politics. Together we named the organization Future Matters, and damn it, Will Rao, it does matter, and I'm so glad that you're a part of it.
So just to clarify, I didn't get fired, and I was diagnosed earlier this year with pancreatic cancer. So it was a little sketchy for a moment there, but I'm here with the love of this entire city. So the saga continues. A civil rights activist and politician, our next speaker has been a champion of African American affairs and social justice for decades. Born on June 17, 1953, to Ora and William Snowden, raised in Annapolis, Maryland, where he attended Annapolis Elementary School. This person was greatly influenced by the autobiography of Malcolm X. In 1970, this person, along with 4 other students, were expelled from Annapolis High School after they boycotted classes to protest the the school's lack of African American teachers and African American study courses. This man has been a blessing in my life personally, and actually is a big reason why I'm even standing here today. And he also is a blessing to the lives of so many other people because he continues to give a voice to the voiceless throughout the entire state of Maryland. I bring to you the Honorable Carl Snowden.
Where's Susie? While she's getting Susie's the one that wanted me to make sure I keep this to no more than 5 minutes. So I want you be the witness here. To the Master, he who put wetness in water. To the Master, he who makes the heavens and the earth. To the Master, he who brings us here on this occasion, as we come to honor one of his public servants. To the clergy, to the mayor, and to the First Lady, and members of the distinguished audience, I'm delighted to join you in the inauguration of this new administration. Today we have with us members of the Caucus of African American Leaders, the NAACP, the United Black Clergy, and other organizations. I've been telling people what I want to share with you and those who are gathered here at this moment. Talked to the Lieutenant Governor just a few moments ago, and I said, Lieutenant Governor, you need to tell a story, you need to write a book, because he who gives the narration tells the story. This is an important moment in Annapolis history. As other speakers before me have mentioned, some great things have happened here in the city of Annapolis. The first president of the United States, George Washington, resigned from the Continental Congress. Kunta Kinte arrived here in 1767. Annapolis has a long history, but it's always important who tells the story. You ask most people in this audience right now, during this month, which is the anniversary when Rosa Parks was arrested, if you ask most people, why was she arrested? Most people will say that she was arrested, Mr. Mayor, because she refused to give up her seat. I had the great pleasure of meeting Mrs. Rosa Parks in 1984 at First Baptist Church. And Senator Cardin and Senator Van Hollen, when I asked her the question, why were you arrested? She gave me a different narration. She said, I was arrested not because I refused to give up my seat, but because I refused to give up my dignity. It's all about who tells the story, who narrates it. And what the mayor and the new city council will do is write a new story. It will be a story about people with dignity and respecting all people and their dignity. We have worked with the mayor in partnership. And together we've done some great things. But I am aware that there are greater things yet to be done. We're going to be working with the mayor and our chief of police as we implement the sweeping laws that have been passed by the Maryland General Assembly, creating a police accountability board, working to ensure that every citizen is respected and every citizen is treated with the dignity that they deserve. I stand before this audience with great hopes for the future. I can imagine what a united government with a vision can do. I can imagine affordable housing for all citizens. I can imagine people living in subsidized housing having an exit plan for them and their children that will allow them to become homeowners. Yet I find myself hearing the voice of the late President John F. Kennedy, who, in paraphrasing him, would ask this question today: Annapolitans, ask not what the city council can do for you, but what you can do to make sure that they're fulfilled the sworn obligation to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Charter of Annapolis. Now I want to pause there, because we're at a very important moment in history. Something is happening here that we should all take great pride in. It's not just the fact that this mayor, one with the largest margin in the last 75 years of any mayor that's been reelected, we should not just take this moment to lift up this new elected city council, because despite the crisis that we've had, whether it's been a mass shooting in Annapolis, the largest mass shooting in the history of the nation, the mayor and the city council rallied and kept this city together. Whether it was the virus, the crisis that we face, this mayor found a way of striking equilibrium between keeping people safe and keeping businesses open. This mayor has been willing to be a partner with people. Then something happened 11 months ago, something we should never forget. 11 months ago, in a similar proceeding, when the transfer of power was about to be done, there were those who tried to stop democracy. Today, we're going to witness the transferring of power as new council members come in. I do not take that lightly. I know the importance of a democracy. I know how important it is to make sure that every vote is respected, every vote is counted. I'm so proud of John Sarbanes and the bill that he put in, because it really goes to the nature of what this nation should be. Martin Luther King Jr. said this as I move to my conclusion. He said, in America, the greatest march that Americans can participate is the march to the ballot box. When Americans go to the ballot box in great numbers, they make a difference. We've heard the slogan, elections make a difference. Can anybody doubt that the election of Gavin Buckley has made a difference, and a difference in the lives of so many people? Today, there are many people who are looking for a better tomorrow. They believe in this newly elected city council and mayor, we will have a better tomorrow. I always end my meetings in the community with this, and I find it's very difficult for people to deal with it. Martin Luther King Jr. said of this nation that when people of goodwill join hands, we make progress. And it's true. Looking at American history, you will always see when people of goodwill have come together, we've made a difference. But Dr. King said there's something else that we need to learn to do. And it's been the most difficult problem we've had since he uttered these words. Dr. King said we need to learn to love one another. We need to be able to respect one another. So I turn to you and ask you to look at your neighbor, look him or her directly in the eye, and just simply say, I love you. As those of you who know, I'm fond of saying, one of the things that I know, at 14 years of age, a young girl looked me in the eye and said, I love you, and she was somebody else the next day. So I know how to tell when people really love you. When you look them in the eyes are the window of the soul. If you look somebody deep in the eyes and you say, I love you, you get a kind of tingling feeling. If you ain't getting that feeling, they don't really love you. Look at your neighbor one more time. Mayor Moyer, please look at Mayor Panelides directly in the eye and just say, I love you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Carl. We love you. And I love y'all. So at this time, we will get the gift of the written and spoken word from the City of Annapolis' very own Poet Laureate, Maggie Benshaw.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today. Mayor Buckley, City of Annapolis, this is Roots of Our City. When the sun rose today and caused the dew to glisten on the streets of downtown from the mist of the bay, a cycle continued. And tonight, when the moon's glow can be seen reflected on the boat-filled waters peeking into each of our homes, letting us know that our day is done, a cycle will continue. We cross each other's paths daily, sometimes wordless and solemn, or filled with friendly chatter, knowing that we are fellow man, but not always expressing that commonality. Yet each of us awoke this morning carrying a cup, some filled heavy with sorrow, some brimming with dreams, some yearning for hope. And as we move through these moments, each of our own cycles continue. The beauty of this town is never-ending. Its wondrous roots go deep and are tangled and gnarled with culture and language, our ancestors in our bones, our history on our tongues, our fates nestled in our hearts. Athena may not have planted an olive tree here, but know this, dear Annapolis, we are still the Athens of America. You see, the roots of our city are vital. They are a part of this cycle, and we could never grow and succeed and support each other's need if that movement ceased to be. So we must cast our differences aside, fill ourselves with hope and pride, because words may just be words, but actions, when applied, will ensure that we all will thrive. Remember this. Each one of us is a crucial root, essential to the growth we all portray, a continuous cycle that beats on the currents of our bay. Because Annapolis, it is in these moments, here and now, where we must come to realize that you, me, us, we are one. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, what we'll do is acknowledge all of those who are on stage with us. And the way that this is going to go is, if they have not spoken to you all, or they will be introduced following this, I will not be saying their name. So first, I want to recognize Julie, Dash, and Miles Buckley. And also Barbara Williams, who is Julie's mother. Wendy Sullivan, National Park Service. Robert Clark, Historic Annapolis. Okay. Homer Denius, Navy Installations. Scott Poyer, Clerk of Court. Joe Rubino. Mayor Ellen Moyer. Mayor Hillman. Mayor Cohen. Mayor Panelides. Kristen Peronis, Dr. Dawn Lindsay from Anne Arundel Community College, and Senator Sarah Elford. I did. All right. While we're acknowledging people, I want to also acknowledge my mother and father. I might get in trouble for that, but hey, you know, thank you for the gift of life. So this first person was elected mayor of the city of Annapolis in November 2017, and again in 2021. He has remained committed to bringing together not only business owners, but community leaders and residents to develop innovative ideas and economic opportunities for all parts of this city. And these include 21st century solutions to age-old issues. As you look around, you see that we do live in a historic city, but at the exact same time, we are constantly evolving and growing. There are more people moving here, and we have a burgeoning population of people who weren't here before. But he has done so in a mindful and respectful way, focusing on community policing, with greater focus on local community needs, hence our term One Annapolis, which is not only a slogan to literally say One Annapolis, but it has different layers to it to speak about ways that we bring this city together so that it can work on these solutions together and provide a greater and better quality of life for everyone in this city. But what he's also done is faced a lot of challenges that many of you all may not even know. He's faced them head on. And not by stonewalling, and not by making people the enemy, and not by, putting someone on the other side of the aisle, but by working with them to provide answers to these problems that face us. As I said, this is a historic city, and we know all the challenges faced with an older city, an aging city, such as sea level rise and some other things. But what he's done is created an opportunity and an environment for leadership where people can be dynamic in their spaces to work on these solutions. And also it's an opportunity for people who ordinarily are not in the room and not at the table to enter that room and put their piece into the puzzle to solve these problems. And I'm personally proud of that. And because we live in a dynamic living city, I'm personally proud of the fact that we had the vision to keep moving forward and allow an opportunity for our mayor to see his vision through. Mayor Gavin Buckley imagines an inclusive city full of opportunities for all of our residents as part of this vision of One Annapolis. He's committed to our shared community and our shared future. His vision is for a vibrant, sustainable, and inclusive Annapolis with infrastructure, services, and events that make it a wonderful place to live and a wonderful place to work for all of us. The future looks bright under his leadership. Mayor Gavin Buckley. At this time, I would like to invite our Clerk of Courts, Scott Poyer, to the podium to swear in Mayor Gavin Buckley for a second term as the 137th Mayor of the City of Annapolis.
Miles, you guys want to come up? Sash? They were a little shorter 4 years ago.
Sir, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Gavin Buckley,
I, Gavin Buckley,
do declare and affirm
do declare and affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of Mayor of Annapolis.
Mayor of Annapolis.
There's a little bit more. According to the Constitution
According to the Constitution
and laws of this state,
and the laws of this state,
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 137th Mayor of the City of Annapolis. And if I could have your signature in the official test book of Anne Arundel County, which dates back to 1647, an unbroken chain of history since the 1600s.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sir. An
Appreciate
honor
it.
to swear you in.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Can I borrow that text?
At this time, we will swear in the Annapolis City Council. It's okay. It's okay to clap. Are you gonna be here? Okay. So, Ward 1. Your first up, Ellie Tierney and Joe Tierney.
All right, I'm going to have to pull my glasses out. All right, you guys know the drill. Are you ready?
Yes.
We are ready. All right. Repeat after me. I'll say I, and then you say your name.
Okay.
I
Ellie Tierney,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
and affirm as the case may be
and affirm as the case may be
this is a different one here, right?
You're on page 2.
Yeah.
That's the mayor.
I've only done this 100 times. Thank you. That I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of City Councillor
execute the office of City Councilor
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and the laws of this state
and the laws of this state
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Thank you. Give you one good arm. Thank you. All right.
Next,
I
we will
got to
do.
practice on Ellie. Will be good for the second one.
So next, we'll do Ward 2, which will be Karma O'Neill, husband Sean O'Neill, and Jillian O'Neill.
All right. Don't try to talk her out of it. Yes, raise your right hand and repeat after me. You say I and you say your name when I say I. I,
Karma O'Neill,
do declare
do declare,
and affirm,
and
as the
affirm,
case may be,
as the case may be,
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States,
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of City Councillor
execute the office of City Councilor
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and the laws of this state
and the laws of this state
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
Congratulations.
Thank
you.
you.
Welcome. Only 6 more times.
All right, so we have Ward 3, Rhonda Pendell Charles, Marvin D. Charles Sr., Marvin D. Charles Jr., Rochelle N. Charles, and King Charles Thomas Jones. All right. Thank you. Oh, and I'm going to tell you this, make sure you're speaking in the mic.
Okay. I'm going to come a little closer to the microphone and raise your right hand. Rhonda knows the drill. All right. Ready?
Yes.
I,
Rhonda Pendell Charles,
do declare
do declare
and affirm, as the case may be,
and affirm as the case may be,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true
and
allegiance
bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will
and that I will
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of City Councillor
execute the office of City Councilor
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and the laws of this state
and the laws of this state
and the Charter and Code
and
of the City of
and
Annapolis.
the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
Welcome.
Well,
Congratulations
thank you.
again. Hey.
Congratulations.
Cool.
You got this thing down.
I'm not, I should have. Yeah.
Okay, we have Ward 4, Sheila Finlayson, Sandra Gray, and Pastor Leslie Newman Adams.
Well, we're going to mix this one up and do it with an Australian accent. All right, Sheila? All right, are you ready? Repeat after me. I
Sheila Finlayson,
do declare
do declare
and affirm, affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of City Councillor
execute the office of City Council
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and the laws of this state
and the laws of this state
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
Congratulations.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you.
Ward 5, we will have Brooks Shandelmeyer, and Chelsea Bach.
All right, these guys are newly married. Let's give them a round of applause. Brooks is a true professional. Are you ready?
I, Brooks Schandelmeyer,
Do declare
do declare
and affirm
and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of City Council
execute the office of City Council
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and the laws of this state
and the laws of this state
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
Congratulations. Welcome back, buddy. Cheers, man. Awesome.
All right. So next we have Ward 6, Dewan Gay, Robin Gay, and Heaven White.
All set? All right. Repeat after me. I
Dewan Gay,
do declare
do declare
and affirm
and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true
and
allegiance
bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and
to the
judgment,
best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
without
partiality or prejudice,
partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of City Councillor
execute the office of City Council
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and the laws of this state
and the laws of this state
and the Charter and Code of City of
and the
Annapolis.
Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
Congratulations, buddy. Cheers, man. Awesome. Cool.
Okay, next we have Ward 7, Rob Savage and Rebecca Savage.
He knows the drill. Repeat after me. I
Rob Savage,
do declare
do declare
and affirm
and affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true
and
allegiance
bear true allegiance
to the state of
to
Maryland
the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
without
partiality or prejudice,
partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of City Councillor
execute the office of City Councilor
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and the laws of this state
and the laws of this state
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
and the Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
Congratulations, buddy. You can take it later. No.
And last but not least, Ward 8, Ross Arnett and Mary Ann Arnett.
Ross has only done this 100 times. Okay, all ready? All right.
I, Ross Arnett,
Do declare
do declare
and affirm
affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution
and and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of City Councillor,
execute the office of City Council,
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and the laws of this state,
the laws of this state,
and the Charter and Code of City of Annapolis.
Charter and Code of the City of Annapolis.
Congratulations. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're all hugging here.
Okay, so for Ward 9, I'm just trying to see if y'all are still with us here. It's been a long afternoon. So let's give it up for the entire City Council. And their families. Because in some cases, their jobs can be thankless jobs. They get a lot of, a lot of long hours, a lot of meetings, and their families also have to share them with all of us in the City of Annapolis. So we thank their families. Now we will behold a rendition of Amazing Grace from Mooney Day Lewis. All right, I thought you all needed some warming up.
I consider it an honor to be on the stage with so many well-known dignitaries. Thank you, Mayor Buckley. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. Was grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace shall lead me home. That sound.
Wow. So at this time, we will hear from our newly sworn-in mayor, Gavin Buckley. All right.
So I can't believe it's been 4 years. Feels like we were just here. I do want to just say how important it is that William Rao is up here today. We were a man down for over a year, and we all were praying for him, and so and he looks amazing. So we are so lucky that he could do this today, because he is a pro. So, of course, you know, the most important thing for any elected official is their family. I want to just say I have the best family. So I want to thank my amazing wife, my son Moz, my son Dash. As the City Council will tell you, politics is hard on a family, and they are the ones that really sacrifice the most when you run for office. I couldn't do it without my amazing wife, and I don't know how anyone could do it without an amazing partner, so I just want to say I love you, darling. I also love my mother-in-law who's up here. I want to give her a big thanks, and a big thank you to my mum who's in heaven, smoking and drinking and looking down on us. I know she'd be really proud. I want to thank my fellow elected officials who are up here with me, and if you don't notice, there is a theme here. Annapolis is shovel ready. We are ready for infrastructure money, and our federal partners are here for that reason. So they think about us first, because we are ready to go, and we truly appreciate you all recognizing that. Lieutenant Boyd Rutherford, thank you so much. You were here 4 years ago. I'm so proud that we work together in this state and this county, and that's what makes Maryland so special. I think Maryland should be the example for the country. My blue brother here, Stuart Pittman, we were the Blues Brothers on our first New Year's Eve in Annapolis when he got elected. I can continually turn to him for advice. He is so passionate about this city that we are lucky to have a county executive like him. Thank you. And of course, a mentor to me, the Honourable Carl Snowden. Let's hear it for Carl Snowden. Thank you for your guidance over the last 4 years. And what about our amazing Poet Laureate? How amazing is Meg? Thank you. So today, we get started on another 4 years. And for that, I heartily thank the voters of the city of Annapolis. The voters resoundingly asked for us to continue this work, and I'm proud to have received support from Democrats, Independents, and Republicans. Tonight, we will celebrate and thank those voters. We will celebrate our city and take time to thank our supporters and volunteers, those who gave advice and capital to the effort for this re-election. I'd like to give a quick shout out to the people behind the campaign, and you know, for any of us, it is just a handful of volunteers that do all the work for you. Thanklessly, they do it because they believe in you, they give up time, they give up money, and I want to thank them. Firstly, I want to thank my campaign manager, Genevieve Torrey. My secret weapon for my 5 friends, McShane Glover. And I'm sure every city councillor up here wants to thank their treasurers because they are the hardest workers. And Stuart Cohen, thank you, Stuart. You are amazing. Also, my communications person, Kate Pettit, is out there. She flew in from Australia, and she was the one that got all the messaging out for me. Thank you for making me sound a lot smarter than I actually am. And of course, our merchandise and all our branding was done by a cool Kiwi chick out here, Sarah Oliver. She is amazing. And Catherine Burke, who owns the gallery behind us. I urged you 4 years ago to go into that gallery after the inauguration and buy things. The Annapolis Collection Gallery and Catherine Burke, thank you for putting this all together. And alongside the campaign volunteers and supporters, I want to thank all of you. I wouldn't be here without you all. We wouldn't be here without you all. You are what makes this city special. It's nearly impossible to run for public office without a great team. I have one of the best, and I appreciate the time and energy and heart and love that they gave to this effort. The people of the City of Annapolis are beneficiaries of your labour, and we will now continue our hard work on their behalf. We will work to unite the partisan divide while we work for all of our residents. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." We dream, we work, and we deliver. That was the theme of this campaign, and it is the theme of the work that will unfold over the next 4 years. When I first ran for mayor, I set out to shake things up at City Hall after having a feud over a mural that you might have noticed when you came in today. Today, we can see the artists Jeff Huntington and his amazing wife Julia touching up the Agony and Ecstasy Live in Perfect Harmony mural that is on the front of the Tsunami building. That's kind of a good description of the City Council and us. Agony and ecstasy living together in perfect harmony. Difference is this time we got a permit, so sorry. This is where I make my Marco Rubio dry mouth joke. Sorry. Over the first term, we worked hard and reaped the rewards, like when we broke ground on the new project, the municipal pool at Truxton, or new public housing stock in Newtown 20, or the new DPW building on Hudson Street. But we also had unexpected lows, like the passing of Annapolis' own legend, House Speaker Mike Bush. We rebounded from our collective grief to celebrate the achievement of finding a consensus plan and funding for the reimagining of City Dock. But each year, on June 28th, we mark the anniversary of the 2018 workplace mass shooting at the Capital newspaper. We mourn the everyday gun violence that plagues our community. And so it went. We celebrated the completion of the hiking and cycling trails at Waterworks Park, and then fate delivered us a global pandemic. We cheered the acquisition of Bertus House and then cleaned up and supported shaken residents and business owners after an EFT2 tornado touchdown in Parole. We pushed forward on our initiatives and handled what fate delivered to our door. What began 4 years ago was the beginning of a journey to act on a bold vision for Annapolis, a dream for the city that we all love. Many of our plans are in the queue. In our second term, it will be our priority to see these efforts through. The West-East Extension, that stands for WE, West-East Extension, the rebuild of the Hillman Garage, flood mitigation on Compromise Street, water access and stormwater improvements in all wards, helping Hacker to rebuild and improve public housing, a continuation of our green efforts, including solar panels on the new Hillman Garage, electric fleet vehicles, an electric ferry, and an enhancement to public safety and safety net programs. These are just a few of the things we want to get across the finish line. I look forward to tiring you all out with ribbon cuttings week after week after week as we tick off these improvements that will be central to how Annapolis evolves for the next generation. While it is true that Annapolis has a special duty to honour her past, the history of this town in the era of the founding of America will always be one of Annapolis's top stories. But just because Annapolis has a rich past, a history that can be defined and articulated to locals and tourists, it doesn't relieve us of the obligation to look and to plan for the future. This generation of politicians, my generation, and the ones that come after me, we have to step up to the plate because the planet is at a tipping point. We have to think boldly about infrastructure. We have to dream big. I believe that we can both honour our past and have a vision that moves us forward. For example, we can honour our Annapolis Harbour, her history, her stories, and still create a more resilient city dock. We can create water access at Carr's Beach and use that site to remind visitors of the story of the African American Carrs and Sparrows beaches and the musical influencers and tastemakers who honed their craft right here in Annapolis. We can replace ageing infrastructure and make our historic towns even more inviting in the modern era with the use of smart technologies and green building techniques. We will be dogged in our determination to bring these projects home. But we will also work to ensure that as a city, we are prepared for the unexpected, nimble enough in our response to the unexpected that we protect our residents, businesses, and visitors. I have another Eleanor Roosevelt quote that I would like to share with you. It's right behind me. For our own success to be real, it must contribute to the success of others. At the core of One Annapolis, we have worked to share our success in our outreach programs, in city hiring, by putting an equity lens on our initiatives. We are creating our own success by contributing to the success of others. Never was that more evident than during the COVID pandemic, when we were first forced into lockdown that closed schools and businesses. We had to quickly create new rules for public health and safety. We had to forge robust partnerships with federal, state, county, and non-profit partners in order to bring resources to those hardest hit. There was no playbook for this in the modern era. What was most important was ensuring that we were reaching into all communities in the city. We had the right people in place, and we wrote a new playbook. We migrated city meetings to virtual. We funded the Small Business Recovery Task Force. We deployed newly funded Take Cares teams onto the street. Some days, it was like building the plane well after takeoff. But because we had the right people in the right jobs, the city of Annapolis navigated the worst of the crisis. Make no mistake, we suffered losses with COVID. We suffered losses from overdoses, from gun violence too. With each loss, we mourn those loved ones, especially at this time of year when we feel it the most. In any history book, if any history book ever mentions this administration, it is my hope that this era of Annapolis will become known for our progress on equity initiatives and also a time when our city became the resilience capital of America. I want us to think about resilience and the power that comes from having the ability to bounce back. We are bouncing back after COVID. We are bouncing back after the tornado and after the tragedies of gun violence. We are moving forward. So I have a note here not to mention the bike lane. But I'm going to mention it as an example of resilience. The bike lane is a perfect reminder of the meaning of resilience. We had always planned to reuse the sidewalk extensions as they came in very handy in the recovery zones. In fact, they got more use in the last 16 months than we ever dreamed they might have. We were able to think creatively, provide businesses with that extra capacity they needed, especially since customers needed to be unmasked and outdoors. After getting such grief over the bike lane, we heard from the same people a few weeks ago when the state of emergency expired, and they wanted to know why we were stopping doing that. This time they were vocal that they wanted those sidewalk extensions to stay, which is a great thing. That ability to bounce back and be resilient in our thinking about community needs to be as important, because not everything we do will be a smashing success. We have to be resilient enough to pick up the pieces and keep going when it doesn't work out the first time. I've learned that in my experience as a business owner, being an entrepreneur, and even being a husband and a dad. We don't always get it right, but we pick ourselves up, and we dust ourselves off, and we keep going. We have to think about that approach in all areas of governance. We should think about resiliency in environmental policies, transportation, supporting businesses and tourism, housing and housing affordability, public safety, public health. It fits just about everywhere. The pandemic showed us that we can encourage innovation in municipal government. We did that in the past 2 years by disseminating information, standing up early testing sites, vaccine deployment, resident resources for food and benefits, and for the businesses, crucial loans and grant programs. As the government closest to the people, city government can serve residents in a unique way. We can model solutions, smart city solutions, grassroots solutions. We can't be afraid to try new things. We can't be afraid to dream. We will continue to be a model for innovation. I know that new ideas will come our way, even with the plans we have and the surprise fate has in store for us. When these new ideas come our way, we have to be open to change, resilient in both success and failure, willing to work to get results. I look forward to working hard for the residents of the city for the next 4 years. I look forward to the passionate public service that our City Council brings to the table. I look forward to seeing the rewards of hard work of the city staff, and I look forward to hearing from residents of the City of Annapolis. Believe it or not, our residents do let us know when we get it wrong. But they have given us a vote of confidence with this election. They know that we will continue to dream, to work, and to deliver. Thank you all so much for being here. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you. We'll let the star close it out.
No. Thank you all, and thank you, City of Annapolis, and hope everyone gets where they're going safely, And also, remember tonight we have the inaugural ball downtown. All right?
Congratulations to you all.
Thank you. Congratulations. Okay.